All right, so we're recording this. This is for the drone arm exercise in the introduction to surface modeling or introduction to surfacing on Onshape. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a document. We can call this drone arm. And I'm going to name this period 4 because this is the period that we're doing this exercise with. And we are going to go through and the first part, which is step 2, is we're going to create these couple sketches with splines in step 2 and step 3. So this one here, pay attention to where the origin is down here. We have a couple construction lines. We have a spline connecting them between there. And then we're going to add in some dimensions. So we're starting a sketch on the front plane. Sketch. I'm going to press N as in Nancy, so it's normal to my screen. And I'm going to create a couple construction lines. One about there, and then another somewhere over here. And this other one is, let's see, does it extend past the origin? Yes, it extends past the vertical point of the origin. So this other one's going to be about, so they are both going to be horizontal. And we are going to add in some constraints here. So first I'm going to make the middle of this. Let's see, can I put a point there? We're not supposed to do that, so I'm going to leave it out. We're going to create a spline connecting the middle of these two lines. So here's the spline tool. We're using the regular spline, going from the midpoint of this construction line to the midpoint of this construction line. Hit escape. Now we're going to vertically constrain the midpoint of that line to the origin. We are going to make those lines tangent, the splines tangent to the construction lines, and we're going to constrain the node of the either side of the spline to the construction line as well. So drag these nodes down and up, and we're going to do a tangent mate between the construction line and the spline. Oh, we got to make sure this one's horizontal. Don't mess that up. And then we're going to do a coincident constraint between here and the start and ends of the construction lines. Okay. Now we're going to use the equal constraint and make these two construction lines equal to each other there. And now we just have some measurements to add. So 125 overall length, millimeters, from the start to end of the spline. And let's make sure that we have our workplace units in millimeters. Go back and edit the sketch. From the start of the spline to the end of the spline is 125. Yep, no problem. Here you go again. So that's 125. Now from the origin to the rightmost construction line is 25 millimeters. So origin to this point is going to be 25. From the origin to the bottom of the other one is 15. So origin to the bottom over here, that's going to be 15 millimeters. And then we have, let's see, I think 2 more things that we got to add. We're going to make, what's that? That's from the point to the point. So escape. Dimension from the starting point of the spline to the end of where the node is. And this is going to be 45. That should fully define our sketch. So you notice that now all of the lines are totally black. That means the sketch is fully defined. And then if I click here to show constraints, we should be able to compare all of your constraints to the constraints that are on this step of the tutorial. And now we're ready for step 3. So click next, step 3, we're going to draw something very similar facing the other way, this time on the top plane. So we'll conclude the sketch with the green check mark. We can pan this around. This time we're going to start a sketch on the top plane. Press N as in Nancy to make it flat with our screen. Pay attention to where the origin is here because this one's going to be facing a different way with the origin. So here's the origin at this point now. And this sketch is going to, here's the origin, be kind of like below the origin. So we're going to do something very similar with the 2 construction lines, kind of forming a step. So line, construction. We'll go about here, escape, line construction. Pick the same thing again over here. So right side of that, vertical, yeah, vertically align with the origin. Vertically align that with the origin, okay. Now we have a spline that connects from the start of the first construction line to the right, or the end of the second construction line. This is also going to be just a 2-point spline. So we pick spline and we click here, and click again over here. Hit escape. Generating the spline. Here's our nodes. You can click these nodes and manipulate the curve of the spline. The assignments that we've done so far are on Canvas, minus this one. There are obviously a lot of things that are not on our Canvas page that we had previously, and that's because my Canvas class got deleted. Okay, so now we're going to add some dimensions. So 45 millimeters for the construction line over here, 45. After we make that 45, we can make these endpoints of the construction lines coincident to the nodes for the spline. Click that one. Click here. Zoom back out a little bit and see what else we're missing. 15 millimeters from the top to, from the origin to the top line, and 21.5 from the origin to the bottom one. So 15 millimeters here. 15. 21.5. Now we're going to make these 2 lines equal. What else are we missing here? I know. So right now we're still able to move this and stretch it. Except the end of this spline here needs to actually be aligned with the end of our spline on the other sketch, which is this point here. So we're going to select the vertical constraint and then click this point and this point. And then now our lines are going to be fully defined and everything turned black. I'm going to turn off visibility to my planes so that there's nothing else in the way. Conclude the sketch with a green check mark. And then now I have 2 sketches on different planes. And here is where it starts getting cool. So for step 4, we're going to do a loft surface. And we're going to pick those 2 lines. And then here, we cannot leave the default settings alone. We have to make sure that we have these settings. So we're going to click loft, click surface, click new, click normal to profile, magnitude 2, normal to profile, magnitude 2. Now the first profile is going to be the top one when we're looking at it in isometric view, and the second profile is the bottom one. And then now we have this like cool little curve. This is how they design body panels on cars. Everything is kind of like everything's surface model with all these different edges and lines that match up and look really cool. Green check mark to conclude that loft surface. And now we're on step 5. We're going to do a mirror. So in the mirror, we're going to do add. So here's a mirror. It's to the left of the Boolean tool. I'm going to pick add. We're going to click this surface. For the mirror plane, we're going to pick the top plane. And then for the merge scope, click the top surface again. Top surface again. Green check mark. Now we have a piece that is symmetric on 2 sides, made up of the same piece that's mirrored now top and bottom. Moving on to step 6, here's where it starts getting kind of like a little bit more interesting because we don't see an origin on this sketch and it's difficult to see exactly where this is located. So we're going to navigate ahead a little bit. And then look here. So we're looking here at the sketch of the first splines, and we're gonna, when we're looking at the front plane, the center here, this is gonna be located or intersecting the construction line from our very first sketch, and it's gonna end up being 10 millimeters away from these points on the sketch, on our original sketch. I'm going to back up a little bit. We'll zoom in here so we can see this as closely as possible. And at first, we're just going to be concerned with making it look like what this looks now. So on the front plane, we're going to make a sketch. We're going to, let's see, hold on. Let's exit out of that really quick. Let me turn off visibility here. Surfaces. Add that surface, sketches, show that sketch. Select the sketch, press, or no, front plane, press N as in Nancy for normal 2. And we're going to start a new sketch on the front plane. That new sketch on the front plane is going to live over here near the start of the top, or the front facing spline. And this kind of looks like a little bit of a, kind of like an apple slice, maybe. So it looks a little bit like an apple slice. And let's see what we do first. We're going to draw a construction line. First thing that we're going to do is draw a line. It's going to be for construction. It's going to be located, look, here's the start of our spline. We're going a little bit to the left of it. Don't worry too much about the size. You may just make it look what it's supposed to. So construction line that way, construction line going across here, and construction line going up and down on this side over here. So now we're going to do another construction line. Here's a horizontal construction line. Whoa, what's that? Oh, it's a little baby one. I didn't mean to draw that in there. Okay, so line for construction, click on the bottom of this, move it out sideways, make sure it's horizontal. Okay, another line for construction over here somewhere. Don't really care how long it is, as long as it's about that size. And then now we're gonna start drawing the shape. So we have a couple different lines and arcs that we're going to draw this with. So sketch the rest of the profile with a horizontal line, 2-point spline. So here's a horizontal line, 2-point spline between there and there. Okay. And then a conical arc. So horizontal line, about so. 2-point spline. See how far do we go? To the end of the construction line. 2-point spline between here and here. Hit escape. You can move this one down a little bit. drag this one, move it down just a smidge. Oh, okay, thank you, Blanca. He just joined right now. So move that down, and the last one's going to be a conic arc. We haven't done this one before. So we're going to hit the drop-down menu next to arc. Select conic. Go from there to about right there. And it's going to have a row of 0.5 millimeters. Oh, that's already correct. Sweet. Okay. Now we're going to make that arc tangent to the spline. Whoa, not like that. Let's drag it over first this way. Drag it over first, down this way. So this endpoint node for the top part of the spline, we're going to make that coincident to this vertical construction line endpoint on the bottom. That's coincident. Over here on the bottom, we're going to make it the other endpoint coincident to the bottom construction line. So clicking coincident. This node, that construction line, cool. Hey, look at that. Now it's starting to look like what it's supposed to. We're going to make these lines tangent here. So we're going to pick tangent, make the spline tangent to the construction line. Tangent cannot be created between a spline and its handle. Oops. Let's back up a little bit. All right. Tangent, construction line, and that. Okay. Now we can make this coincident over here. Sweet. Tangent from the conic arc to the spline. Tangent from the spline to the horizontal line. Kind of looks like an acorn, maybe. Something like that. All right. Are we almost ready? I think we're almost ready. So this needs to be horizontal with this. And now we can start adding some measurements in. All right, here's the good part. So let's focus on just this part first. Okay. Let's see here. I need to extend this. Extend it. I'm in a little bit of a dilemma here because I need the line to be extending past over here. So maybe I'll just delete this bottom horizontal construction line. Bring the node up out of the way a smidge. Make a new construction line. Whoa, look at that. I totally messed this up, didn't I? Okay, coincident from the endpoint of the vertical line to that. Okay. Bring this in closer. Cool. Shorten up the construction line. That is now massive. Now we're back to where we're supposed to be a couple minutes ago. So the overall length of that construction line is showing a diameter of 15 millimeters. It's a diameter because it's going to be located around the center axis of something. Dimension line from here to here. Go down. 15. This is going to be midpoint coincident to that guy. 10 millimeters for the next measurement here. So we have to make this one coincident there, right? Okay. And now we're going to add a dimension of 10 millimeters from this point to the center. Why'd you freak out with that one? Let's see what's wrong. All right, let's just get rid of that. For now, delete that. Have a tiny little horizontal line here. Okay, I gotta redraw my bottom horizontal line. Two-point spline. From there to there. Escape. Bring the nodes down to give it that acorn shape that we were looking at previously. Make this tangent to the construction line there. Make it tangent to bottom. Constrain the nodes to the endpoints of these construction lines. Tangent over here between the conic arc and the spline. I'm not sure. Okay, time to keep adding some measurements. So 15 millimeters there. 10 millimeters for the overall length of from these two. So let's see, 10 millimeters from this point to this point. It's going to be 10. Why is that acting that way? Okay, let's see, let's get rid of this one. Okay, let's try this again. 15 millimeters. Whoa. Dimension. Something's still not right when I'm doing that. Why is that? Let's leave this deleted for now and add another measurement. Let's try it on the top here. So diameter dimension between those. From here to this point, that creates a 15 millimeter diameter. 10 millimeters from the top to the start of the conic arc. Oh, we gotta make, let's see. Do we have these horizontal? Yeah. 10 millimeters from here to the conic arc. Yeah, I guess this is, I just have mine very, very small. That's why it's not acting right. 30 millimeters for the length of the construction line over here on this side. So here is 30. And it totally messes this up here. Why? It's because it's too small. see here. I'm gonna go 10 millimeters between here and there. Maybe now I can stretch this down. Oh yeah, finally I can stretch it down. Hopefully it won't freak out on us anymore. 30 millimeters for the length of that construction line over here on this side. Still freaking out on us, huh? Let's see, do I need to make this tangent to... No, I don't want to like that. Let's see. Okay, we can get that to 30 now. $30, 20 millimeters from the bottom of that one. Okay, let's see, I gotta show this other sketch now. Show that one. Going 20 millimeters from that sketch to the bottom construction line. 20 millimeters from here to here. Where'd it go? Right there. 20, 10, 15. Let's try these ones down here now. We'll also do 10 millimeters between these. Does anybody see any measurements that I'm missing? Down from this side, 10 millimeters up, 10 millimeters over, 20 millimeters from the bottom, 15, 10 over here, 155 from the start of the top of the front facing spline to the far point of the conic arc. So dimension from this point to this point, and that's 155 millimeters. So there's still some things here that are flexible. So let's see, we need a tangent from this arc to here. We need to keep a tangent from this one to this one. What am I missing, guys? Let's see, seeing something here, but I'm not sure what. So, oh, that's not good. I see one of the ones that I'm missing here. So this spline also needs to stay tangent to that. What else am I missing here? Oh, we're missing that 15 millimeter on the bottom. Diameter. So measurements. 15 there also. Okay, we're one step closer. This is still able to move. And it looks like we got to make that horizontal. Horizontal. So we'll pick the horizontal constraint, make it horizontal from here to here. And what do you know? Look at that. Everything's fully defined now. Everything's turned black and it's totally locked down the way you want it to be. Get that part. Now we get to do a revolve surface. So I'm going to share this with you guys right now where it's at, and then we'll continue from there. Public, make public, copy, yeah, okay, copy, close. All right, now here's where we start doing some real work. So let me close my window I was working on. Okay, so now let's see. I guess we can show the surfaces here. Okay. And then now we're going to do a revolve surface on this one. So revolve surface, new, pick the edges, and then pick the center, 180 degrees. See, not that one. Revolve surface, new. Pick these edges. Revolve axis here. Instead of full, we're going to do symmetric, 180 degrees. Oh, wait, what's going on there? Okay, it's got to look like that. Then we split split, delete surfaces that are overlapping. Okay, so green check mark, split the surface, keep tools, check mark, split again, the surface, keep tools, green check mark, delete parts, delete this part, green check mark, delete parts, delete this part, green check mark. This is how things like video game controllers and toys, anything that's made up of different shells of plastic, are made. Delete the one we didn't want. Now we're going to do a Boolean. Again, I love Booleans. So Boolean, union, this one, green check mark. And those are all together as one solid or one complete entity. Step 13, we're going to fillet, circular fillet, 5 millimeters. Tangent propagation. Fillet, circular fillet, 10 millimeters. Turn that off, tangent propagation. Check mark. Now we're going to make a plane on 3 points off the top. Plane. That point. This point. This point. Anytime we pick 3 planes, 3 points in space, anywhere they create a plane. Oh, what's up with that? What happened? Edit. 3-point plane. Step 15, we're going to make this into a solid. So we're going to click and close, and then click these selections. Where is the enclose tool? Pick that plane. Pick, let's see, right plane and front plane. No keep tools. No bueno, didn't do it. Let's find out what's wrong here. Ah, forgot to click the surface. Let's just delete it and start over. And close. See, let's click the surface first. And close this surface. That plane, and the right plane, and the top plane. Why is it not working? Okay, I don't want the face. Let's try the surface. There we go. I was clicking the face instead of the surface. Edit. Delete, clear, keep tools. Okay, that's fine. Oh, we can have this plane here now. No big deal. Step 16, we're going to mirror the part. we're going to copy this whole thing over to the other side. So we'll take that part, mirror, add that part about the front plane, merge with all, and check mark. Now it's symmetrical all the way around. It's totally a 3D object now. It's cool, right? Very like organic, kind of like more free-flowing shape. Step 17, we're gonna shell it. We're gonna make it hollow now. First we made it solid, now we're gonna make it shallow. And it's gonna be 2 millimeters. So we're gonna pick shell, 2 millimeter, hollow, hollow, no hollow, unhollow. That to this.
Oh, up there? Okay.
Check that out. Now it's a hollow plastic part. Green check mark. And we're done. Okay. I am going to stop the recording.